On October 4, 2023, the Philippines witnessed a contentious clash between artistic expression and religious sensitivities as Pura Luka Vega, a drag queen, was accused of blasphemy and was arrested for immoral doctrines, obscene publications and exhibitions, and indecent shows. Vega received backlash for his Amanami performance in a drag show, which became controversial between the drag community and the religious community. Because of this, Vega was declared persona non grata in 17 parts of the country, which means he is not welcome or accepted in these parts of the Philippines, such as Manila and Southern Cebu.
As a Catholic country, this performance was offensive and blasphemous to some. However, the performance is protected expression under international human rights according to a Human Rights Watch LGBT rights program specialist. Freedom of expression includes artistic expression that offends, satirizes, or challenges religious beliefs. This highlights the delicate balance between freedom of expression and respect for religious beliefs within diverse societies. Acknowledging differing perspectives and fostering dialogue can help navigate the complexities inherent in such situations.
After being released from custody, Vega found himself back behind bars on February 26, 2024, facing the very same charges that were filed against him back in October 2023. This development has reignited public attention and stirred strong emotions, particularly among the netizens who had previously rallied in support of Vega. The controversy surrounding his case has once again become a focal point of online discussions, with supporters expressing their frustrations and disappointment. Adding to the complexity of the situation, the religious group that initiated the latest case against Vega is the same one that has consistently held strong views against the Black Nazarene, and, in some instances, openly ridiculed Catholics for what they term as idolatry. This aspect of the case has added another layer of tension and controversy, further polarizing opinions on social media.
Hello everyone, I am Kianjas Averia Corte, a student from BSMLS 1E, and as for the continuation, they arrested Vega for blasphemy but let a church leader, a so-called child of God, get away for sex trafficking and bounty smuggling, which is way heavier than the performance Vega did during his show. How can a Catholic country let a church leader and a country get away with their crimes that actually affect the people, but put a drag queen behind bars for his harmless show? The government's decision can impact Luka Vega's life in various ways, depending on the nature of the decisions and Luka's circumstances. For example, changes in taxation policies could affect Luka's finances, while healthcare policies could impact his access to medical services. Additionally, regulations on industries could influence Luka's job opportunities and economic stability.
This point, this is no longer about the religion, but homophobia and aligning with those in the authority or with the powerful ones. People are so eager to put Vega behind bars for portraying the Black Nazarene in a drag performance. Yet, they ignore the real culprits who are committing theft and inflicting greater harm to the country. How can Vega receive the backlash for portraying the Black Nazarene, but also praised the self-proclaimed Son of God. It is puzzling how Vega faces criticism, while someone who claims the Son of God receives praise.
This caricature is to portray and to give light as to how unjust and how big of a hypocrite the general is. This is to enlighten the people how justice is heavily favored for the rich and powerful. Without the money and the name to back it up, you are nothing but prey to the predators, which are big sharks of the society. For this being partly about religion, the politicans who involves themselves in dirty work should also be called out for and be put under investigation to be proven guilty. Also being a noticeable church leader involved, he who claims to be the appointed Son of God participates in human trafficking and different sorts of cases filed against him should also be punished and be seen on court to be proven guilty. Admittedly, Luka Vega has amassed the hate of the Christian population. Luka's actions are without a doubt questionable and his intentions were unclear and weren't properly portrayed, which in result gathered the attention and negative comments of the netizens. On the other hand, people should also recognize the dark side of politics and religion. If people have the capability of understanding blasphemy and the likes showing how people have moral compasses and knowing what's right and wrong, then they should also take account the politicians and higher figures of religion who are uncalled and be brought into light. The society shouldn't be complacent in the blatant acts of corruption and false statements of higher figures in our society.
The golden era of Ferdinand Marcos is a period in Philippine history that evokes diverse and often contentious interpretations. Emerging as the country's president in the year 1965, Marcos embarked on an ambitious vision to transform the Philippines into an economic powerhouse and modernize its infrastructure. Proponents of his regime argue that this period from 1960s to the year early 1980s brought about significant economic growth, infrastructural development, and relative stability to the nation.
During Ferdinand Marcos' presidency, spanning from 1965 to 1986, the Philippines experienced significant economic achievements, marked by initiatives such as the Green Revolution. So this Green Revolution aimed at modernizing agriculture and boosting productivity. Strategic investment in key sectors like manufacturing and electronics laid the groundwork for industrial growth. But despite achievements, criticism emerged over the governance and human rights issues. While Marcos' era spurred economic transformation, challenges of inequality and governance endured, highlighting the complexity of the Philippines' development journey. In addition, the period witnessed numerous human rights abuses, including extrajudicial killing, enforced disappearance, and torture perpetrated against political opponents and dissenters. Those violence tarnished Marcos' legacy and raised concern about the erosion of democratic institutions and the rule of law.
Infrastructure development was a hallmark of Marcos' tenure, with ambitious projects aimed at transforming the nation's transportation networks, bolstering the energy infrastructure, and enriching urban amenities. Iconic landmarks like the San Juanico Bridge, spanning the picturesque strait between Samar and Leyte, and the cultural center of the Philippines, a beacon of cultural enrichment and artistic expression, embodied the nation's fervent aspiration for progress and cultural enrichment. These monumental achievements not only enhance connectivity and accessibility, but also serve as enduring symbols of national pride and unity. Under Marcos' visionary leadership, infrastructure development became a testament to the Filipino people's unwavering commitment to shaping a brighter future for generations to come.
The Marcos era also witnessed the implementation of various social programs and policies aimed at addressing poverty of the Filipinos. Initiatives such as the Masagana 99 program, which aimed to increase rice production and alleviate rural poverty, were introduced to uplift disadvantaged communities and promote inclusive growth. Despite these achievements, the golden era of Marcos is disfigured by controversies and human rights abuses. The imposition of martial law in 1972 marked a significant turning point, leading to the suspicion of civil liberties, suppression of political dissent, and widespread human rights violations. Additionally, political opposition faced severe repression, with prominent figures being jailed or forced into exile. The legacy of Marcos is complex, reflecting on the socio-economic progress and the darker side of the authoritarian rule. In other words, the Marcos regime focused on progressing and improving socio-economic status, but it is impaired by the opinions of individuals about the trauma of dark misery scenario way back at 1972.
The regime's authoritarian grip on power stifled democratic institutions, eroded press freedom, and curtailed dissenting voices, casting a shadow over the era's purported successes. The imposition of martial law also facilitated the consolidation of political power and the entrenchment of Marcos's authoritarian rule. Political opponents and critics were silenced. Media censorship became pervasive, and the judiciary was subverted to serve the regime's interests. The concentration of power within the hands of a few elite further entrenched systematic corruption and patronage politics, undermining the principles of accountability and transparency. The regime's grip on power led to severe restrictions on civil liberties, including arbitrary arrests and enforced disappearances. Economic policies exacerbated income inequality, favoring the ruling elite and widening the wealth gap. Marcos's propaganda machine cultivated a cult of personality while suppressing dissent and criticism. Human rights abuses such as extrajudicial killing and mass displacement characterized the regime's brutal crackdown on dissent.
Allegations of widespread corruption and cronyism, or the practice of appointing friends or families despite their unsuitability, tarnished the image of the Marcos administration. The close ties between Marcos and his inner circle of cronies led to the monopolization of economic resources and opportunities, exacerbating or worsening the income inequality and stifling competition in the marketplace. The embezzlement of the public funds and the plundering of the nation's coffers for personal gain became emblematic of the regime's excesses. The golden era of Marcos is also remembered for its legacy for resistance and opposition. Civil society movements, students, activists, and opposition leaders emerged as vocal critics of the regime, advocating for democracy, human rights, and social justice. Despite facing repression and persecution, these voices of dissent played a crucial role in challenging the authoritarian rule of Marcos and laying the groundwork for the restoration and democracy in the Philippines.
The economic gains achieved during Marcos's tenure were often distributed unevenly, with marginalized communities bearing the brunt of social injustices and economic disparities. Rural poverty persisted, agrarian reform remained elusive, and marginalized groups continued to struggle for access to basic services and opportunities. The promise of prosperity touted by the Marcos regime remained elusive for many Filipinos, particularly those living in remote regions and urban slums. This caricature is to portray that the golden era of Ferdinand Marcos Sr. was just a facade for the dirt behind the period of economic growth and infrastructural development. While proponents laud the regime's achievements in advancing economic progress and modernization, critics highlight the dark legacy of repression, corruption, and social inequality. The enduring debates surrounding Marcos' legacy underscore the importance of critically examining historical narratives and acknowledging the nuances of the past in shaping the present and the future of the Philippines.